What's up, my beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. We're back to a review phase, and many of you are asking, why are you still wearing these 4 watches? I thought you were testing them out. Does the test ever end? You know, the thing is, there's always something new with the watches, but I must admit to you guys, I haven't updated any of these watches in terms of switching it with a different one in a while besides the Coros Pace Pro. So I'm here to tell you everything about these watches that I'm wearing, that I've been wearing recently, and my experience with it, and I'm gonna pick my favorite watch. You finally get to hear it from me, which one is the better watch in terms of running specifically. So what I got here for you guys, we got the Coros Pace Pro. This is new to my wrist. And then we got the Garmin 955 Solar. We have Amazfit. This is the Cheetah Pro. It's the Kelvin Kiptum version. Many people didn't know about this watch about a year or so ago, but it's starting to be popular, especially in the high rocks world. I saw this watch at my marathon Rotterdam, and I decided to pick it up and did the race with it, and it did pretty good. And then last but not least, we got the Apple Ultra 2, and I have my heart rate monitor. The reason I brought this in, because I just want to get straight to that one. The heart rate monitor is the best heart rate monitor in the game to me. I think Wahoo also has one that goes on your bicep. So those style specifically. I haven't tried the Wahoo one, but I just like the comfort that I forget that it's on my bicep. The chest strap from Garmin would be good, but I get loose, and next thing you know, you feel it dig into your rib. You know that it's there, the presence. This one, I forget about it. In fact, post-run, I forget that it's on me, but I forget to take it off until I realize I got a shower. I'm like, oh, shoot, I got this on. So that's why I brought this. This is that. But let's get to the watches. Also, for those who are new to the channel, HellahGood. I've been running every single day, 8 years, May 15th, and I have yet missed a day. I ran from LA to New York City. I've done 300-mile races. I've raced 2 marathons, like racing, but I've run more than 2 marathons. I've guided and all of that. And yeah, let's get to it. So my experience with the Apple Watch, we're gonna start with that because my run journey started with the Apple Watch. The reason I always wear the Apple Watch is because it has my run streak. So from day one, if you go on any of that ring, if you click on it, you'll see a run, the location, the temperature, the pace, you name it. So for me, it was just like, oh, that'd be cool to just keep tracking on that. But the thing is though, when I was using the series, I started with the Series 2, I believe if I can remember correctly, the battery life wasn't great. And I will say the GPS thing around that time wasn't as great as it is now. But when I started running across America, back in 2021, I needed something that can have a longer battery life. So I try on the Garmin Fenix 6 Pro. So when the Apple Watch died, I would have both watches on, and I'll continue with the Garmin because that can go for almost 4 or 5 days without me having to worry about charging it while this is charging in the RV. And when I got back from running across America, I was thinking, hella, there's multiple watches out there. Why don't you try all of them? Then I got curious about the Coros. I got that one. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, imagine if you can wear all those watches at once and you can actually have a proper testing, because you're gonna have the same body energy, the same environment in terms of weather, and you're gonna have the same physical ability at that point. So if I were to wear one watch today and wear another watch tomorrow, I can't really compare them because the way I feel today, the way the weather is today, is not going to be the same as tomorrow. So to wear all at once, and especially race day, you can compare it to the chip. So I got my nerdy side out. I love technology, so this is how the 4 watches began. The Apple Watch right now, the Ultra 2, if you have the first one, I don't think it's worth upgrading to the second one. It is an expensive watch. It is $800. I always complain about how bad the battery life Apple Watch has been, and they did the Ultra. It is a little better. To me, is it what it should be? I don't think so. It could be much better, especially for the price range.
Tell me the watches.
So Coros, every watch will start at 100%. This morning, Coros have 58% left. Apex 2 Pro. Garmin Fenix 6 Pro, it is 3 years old, but still, I have somebody with 6-7-year Coros, still great.
Why are you
3%
using
left.
3-year-old Garmin?
Because it wasn't going to be fair to use the 955 Solar. That's a marathon watch. So it would make sense for an Ultra. And then Apple Ultra 2, dead at like 86 miles. And I took off cellular, and I didn't tell you a secret. When 10% left, I turned on the low battery mode.
Oh, you did.
And I gave him some edge, and it still died. The Amazfit died earlier than all of them. And that's not fair because that's also a marathon. So my goal is to say, okay, this marathon, don't try an ultra 100-mile race.
And in terms of accuracy, I don't really think Apple Watch is not accurate. I've run with it with many races. The chip time is close. People have said, hey, Hellah, you're right, actually. The chip time is right on dot. Certain times that I'll have iffiness with, it's like the elevation gain would be off. But Apple Watch does the job. But don't look at it as a running watch specifically. I think that's where you lose the running community. Look at the Apple Watch as a smartwatch, but it can handle the running. In terms of my favorite everything with the Apple Watch is safety. Because when I'm out there running, this watch is my safe haven. I can get calls. If I actually fell down on a trail, it was calling an emergency for me, it will ping you your location.
I just ate, you know the word. And I've been in way worse situations in terms of technicality. This is like nothing. It's a small route. And then shout out to the iPhone and my Apple Watch. It detected a crash landing and it was asking me if I was okay. If I didn't respond, it would have sent help while I'm out in the woods. Wow, this is why actually I'm like, Apple Watch is on. But it's not about that. Yeah, my beautiful people, be careful out there. In the wilderness, in the trails, or even on the roads. Cars, everything. So.
And believe it or not, if somebody were to find me and I was unconscious, it would have probably notified whoever I had on my emergency till I get to the hospital, knowing what's happening, which is really good. I can detect so many things like irregular heartbeat. I've had stories when I posted about my fall. Somebody had a heart attack in the middle of a 5-mile run. The Apple Watch called the emergency response. If it wasn't for that, he said he wouldn't be alive. So, and I've witnessed people fall in front of me when the Apple Watch is doing a countdown. Are you okay? If you don't respond within 1 minute, you get help. So in terms of safety, it is the most, I think it's the best watch out there. And if you want to say, hey, Siri, play some jams, it'll play for you. Hey, call so-and-so, and they can track it's easy in that aspect. Let's go to the Garmin now. See, the Garmin for me, when I started with the Fenix 6 Pro, it was a good watch, but sometimes I would get to the mile marker. Let's say from me to you would be a mile today. Tomorrow, I have to pass you a little bit to hit the mile. But with the Apple Watch, whether it's right or wrong, it was always from me to you would always be a mile. That never changes. But Garmin would be like, you're almost to you today, to that person today, or that direction, distance, it's a mile, or you have to be a little past it to hit a mile. So I was always like, I wonder why that's the issue. And then I'd had my Garmin Fenix 6 Pro actually replaced to see if it would change, and it didn't. But when I got the Forerunner 955 Solar, this was better, but it made me faster. So let's say the pace was 650 on my Apple Watch, for example. Garmin will say 645. And Coros actually would be around 650, 651. So to me, if 2 or 3 out of the 4 watches is similar pace and the Garmin one is the one a little faster, I thought those 3 was the accurate one. So what are the chances? Amazfit, when I picked this one up, it didn't feel expensive. It didn't feel cheap either. I didn't know how to feel about it. But the thing is, though, the splits were nice. You know what I noticed with the Amazfit? I almost felt like they were using a little bit of Apple technology, but with a better battery life. And I was like, I see what you guys are up to, Amazfit. The Cheetah Pro specifically, that's the only one I've tried. Because I felt so many, even the way the application looked like, it made it seem like it was a little polished, it was a little more serious, a little more sophisticated, but it's a running watch. And I really appreciate that about the watch. And the fact that I could play music loud on this watch, which Apple ended up doing now. I don't know, everybody's doing something, but I would have music, something would play louder. It was a music that was already in this, I can play loud, and I don't need a headphone. That was really nice. And it would read my splits to me really loud. After I'm done with the workout, it's reading everything. When I hit a mile, it's talking to a point where it got so annoying I had to silence it when I'm running with people. So I think the Amazfit was pretty good, especially for the price range. This was a solid watch, and I'm still wearing it. It's been over a year now since I got this Amazfit, and it hasn't let me down. Battery life, it gave me guarantee a week and a half. I know for sure, guarantee. Apple, 3 days, because I do sleep with it. It tracks my sleep. I do everything with it. So 3 days top from full. And Garmin, the 955 Solar would definitely give me closer to 2 weeks. Now let's go to the big boy, Coros. They said the big boy, I think Coros have really changed the watch game in terms of running because it does a lot. It really is a nice watch. And the fact that you can get their cheaper kind, not the Pro, but the Pace 2, 3, they're not that expensive. Let me grab this. They're not that expensive, but it did more than what it should. But I have the Pace Pro here. The battery life is phenomenal. I can go almost 3 weeks without charging this. When I travel, I don't have to worry about did I forget my charger, because even if it had 20% left, I'll go on a 3-day trip and it will last that day. And it's not like I'm only running a mile those days. I can be running 5-7 miles those 3 consecutive days, and the battery will still last. And I know this is not their biggest like ultra watch, but I have worn this on like a longer distance when I go on a 30-mile run, and everything is solid. When I went into the ultra scene though, I did the Apex 2 Pro, and running 100 miles, after 100 miles, still 39% battery. Almost 2 weeks later, the watch is still not dead. But I will say that is their highest version. And then I can't say that about the 955 because there's the Phoenix Pro and so many other versions that can give me better battery life. But my one down thing about the Coros Pace Pro is that I do not like, and it could be solved, is the touchscreen. When I'm running, because this one has the touchscreen functionality, if it's a little windy, not even aggressive, the screen will change on me. It will literally switch up on me. Let's say I'm doing a workout, I want this face to be shown, and it will just vibrate and it will just move. I'll be looking at my wrist and I want to see a certain pace, rolling pace, or like whatever it is that I'm looking, my splits or my repeats, and it keeps changing the face on me because the wind brushing against it, and it's super annoying when you're in the middle of a workout, especially when you first don't know it. You think that the watch is bugging, it's going crazy, but I realized because how sensitive the touchscreen is, and the solution to that was to turn it off. And if you do that, you don't have to worry about that. But if you make a touchscreen, I think you can work on those. Maybe a software update can turn down the sensitivity. Hopefully it's not a hardware thing, it's just a software thing. But if it is a hardware thing, if somebody got it because of that, that's really tough. If you can't change it over software update. And price range with this is also, I think, is fair. If I have to pick one watch right now for running specifically, just running, Hellah, it does the job. You only focus on running. Without a doubt, Coros. It could be the Pace 2, the Pace 3, it could be the Pace Pro. And when it comes to ultra marathon, easily the Apex Pro, the Apex 2 Pro. But the Phoenix Pro was really good. I ran Leadville 100 with that. It did, I think it died at some point, but it was doing what I needed to do. I wish it lasted longer. But I will say that it was like a whole year older. So maybe the battery degraded at that point. Is that the right word? Battery degradation, yes. But in terms of the Apple, I did my best this 100-mile race, Ultra. I turned off the notification because that does burn battery. And I didn't listen to music through it. I listened through music actually this time with my phone. So it wasn't burning the battery. But I think the watch got to 80 miles. It didn't do the Ultra. When I hear Ultra, I'm thinking going the distance, whether it's bike, cycling, running, and it didn't really live up to that. Coros is my favorite current running watch. Every time you go on my Strava, anything I do running, the last 3 years going on actually, since 2023 I believe, it's been Coros upload. I still record with my Apple because there's a thing about the Apple Watch, the run streak started on that, it will live on that until whatever time that I'm able to keep running this run streak. So I still run with that. And in terms of the Apple Watch, I think the biggest benefit of the Apple Watch, so number one, Coros for me. Number two, I will say the Apple Ultra. And the reason is, if it comes to just safety specifically, feeling safe and still getting the run done, that would be number one. But when it comes overall, I'll do number two. And the reason is, Apple Watch will motivate you to be a better person. It'll tell you mindfulness. A certain time of the day, hey, it wants you to like take a deep breath for a minute. Every hour, it's like, Hellah, you gotta stand up. And I'm crazy about that because I wanna close all my ring. I'm standing up a minute to the hour to making sure like I'm not sitting, my blood is moving and everything. It will make sure you close your ring, whatever caloric numbers you pick throughout the day. It will make sure you exercise to get those ring closed. So it motivates you to be better. And it could be a little too crazy because I'm a little crazy with it. In the middle of the night while I was having dinner in California, because I'm always on East Coast time to close my ring, to get my run streak in, I realized I was a little off by numbers in calorie. I started running around the block to get my ring closed. But it will motivate you to be the best version of yourself. And it will help you when you feel like you're alone because the safety, I feel like I'm never alone when I'm running along with this. So safety, everything overall, Apple Watch. Running specifically, Coros. But when it comes to running and safety and everything mashed together, I will take the Apple Watch. And Garmin is not bad. It's whatever you like about the Garmin, but Garmin is not really my thing. But I think they have the best bike computer because I tried the Coros new Dura computer versus the Garmin 840 Edge. I think the Garmin beats it. And then Amazfit, it's one of those things. It's like it's floating in the middle. I don't need it, but if I have to use it, I would use it. But I can go without it, you know. And I think they're gonna be better and better as time goes. For the first watch, Kelvin Kiptum, may he rest in peace, coming up with something like that, that's a big leap. Like, it wasn't like, ooh, this watch is like, it's okay. It's like, oh, this watch is solid. So that's just like the first generation or whatever of this watch. So I think they have I think they can come up number one within the next 2-3 years if they keep it up, especially what I'm experiencing with this. So that's so far these watches. Please stay tuned for another video. I'm gonna pick, you can actually leave in the comments below which watch you want me to compare. Literally specs for specs, dollar for dollar, everything. I'll do it like versus, like let's say example, Coros versus Garmin, Amazfit versus Coros or Garmin, Apple Watch versus one of these, but I want to make sure the price are similar so it's fair. But just because the most expensive does not make it the best watch, and I've learned that. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Love you guys. Do what you do every single day. Doesn't matter what anyone said. People see me wear for watches. Some people are like, Hellah, why are you doing this? It's too much. You're too whatever. But if it makes you happy, do it, right? I'm the 4-watch guy because you've seen it here first. And if you see anyone else do it, maybe they start liking you like I did too. So that's it. Get your working, my beautiful people. I love you guys always. Let's get it. See you on the next one. 4 watches and a heart rate monitor. Let's go.